Hey everyone. You know, I've been thinking about this for quite some time. Whether I was going to do it and whether or not I was going to do it on stream. Against my better judgment, I am both doing it and doing it on stream. In case you can't tell by the title of this video, I am going to try and beat The Last of Us on grounded mode, which is originally on the PS3 version, the downloadable content. I think it was free DLC, or maybe it was included with the season pass. It was basically an extra difficulty mode. They had normal, easy, and hard in the original game. Then you unlocked survival or survivor when you beat the game once. And that was hard. That was pretty tough playing on that mode. And then they put out Grounded as DLC, which was it was for the top percentile of players, basically, because it was punishing to the nth degree. One of the hardest experiences I've ever played. I know I've seen, I've seen so many people in kind of the Last of Us fan community, the NeoGAF threads, the subreddit, blah blah blah, who were just like, I love this game, I've put so much time into it, I cannot beat that, including myself. So for context, if you don't know, if you haven't listened to me gas on about it over the years, I love The Last of Us. It is my favorite game of all time. I adore this game. I have played it back to front. I've beaten it 6 times, I think. I've beaten it on every difficulty. It is the only game, with the exception of Telltale's The Walking Dead, which offers a platinum when you complete it just regularly. This is the only game other than that I have platinumed. I have the original game on PS3. I beat it on every difficulty. I put about 50 hours into the multiplayer, and I don't typically do that. I'm not a 100% get the platinum trophy guy. It was mainly because I just wanted to explore every nook and cranny of the game, and I just wanted to see everything it had. So yeah, I beat this to death, adored it, and I have not finished the game on grounded mode. On the PS3 version, when it first came out, I got to Tommy's Dam, which is roughly 55-60% through the game, and I rage quit. I could not do it. I was like, this can't be done, and I have not gone back to it since. That was the PS3 version, so that was at least 2 years ago. So yeah, so I'm picking it back up here. I got the PS4 version, and despite platinuming the original, I actually haven't touched this that much. I don't even think I'm finished summer in my playthrough on this. Let me just I'm in the hotel lobby in my save on the PS4, so I have not touched the PS4 version of this that much. And the few hours I have spent with it, I've been mainly playing around with photo mode, so I really have not played that much of it at all. But if I'm going to do grounded mode, I wanted to stream it, and I also wanted to do it on the ultimate version of the game. So, as well as all that, this will also give me a chance to play through the entirety of The Last of Us with a microphone right here, and I'm also just going to have some fun with it, talk about why I love the game. I'm not going to stop this playthrough until I beat it on grounded mode. This could go on for a year. I wonder if I will beat this or Nuclear Throne first. I think based on how rage-inducing it was on PS3, I think there's a good chance I get to the Nuclear Throne before I beat this on grounded mode. It is going to be insanely tough. I'm just going to open the chat here if you bear with me. Where are we going here? Let me see here. Okay, so yeah, I'm also I love The Last of Us. I'm really looking forward to just talking about this game and playing it and reliving it, because if you know me and if you follow me on Twitter or you talk to me anywhere, you know that I haven't shut up about this game in years at this stage. I absolutely adore it. So let's go all the way down to grounded. Survivor is an excellent way to play this game. If you've never played this game before, first of all, there will be spoilers. I'm going to talk freely about, from the second this goes, I'm going to just talk about the story. I'm just going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about everything I love about it. This is not a first time playthrough. If you're looking to just watch The Last of Us, it will be, spoiled. If you're watching this like I do, because I search people out on YouTube and I'm like, let's see who cried when and how did so and so react to this. You're not going to get that here, because I've seen this stuff so many times at this stage. It's like I'm kind of like numb to it. Like the intro that we're about to watch means nothing to me at this stage because I've seen it so many times. Although, honest to God, I cried on release day when I played this. It really overwhelmed me. So yeah, Survivor, excellent way to play this game. One thing I will say about Grounded in relation to me rage quitting on PS3, this is gonna sound whiny, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I felt like it is kind of unfair in some respects because it's kind of one-hit kills, which is okay. I can deal with that. The problem I and a lot of people had with Grounded is there are like roughly 50% of the checkpoints than there are in the other all the other difficulties are the same. In Grounded, so for example, in Tommy's Dam, if you've never played this before on Grounded mode, you have to get the whole way through Tommy's Dam, that entire sequence from the end of the cutscene where him and Joel almost fight to the cutscene where you're reunited with Ellie. It's about 20 minutes later, and that's 20 minutes of AI that can hit you from across the map, kill you at one shot. Like, it is punishing. That's where I gave up. So Survivor is like a good balance of insane difficulty, limited resources, low health, but more checkpoints. And then Grounded is the I think it is for the kind of the demographic that have platinumed it. So I'm going to jump in here. Apologies for no, there we go, I'm back. Apologies for the lack of video there for a second. It made me select a new save slot. So as I said, this is just give me a chance to talk about The Last of Us and why I love it, why I think it's so great. You know, it's funny, when I was getting ready to do this stream, I was thinking to myself, will I talk about how much I love the main menu, or is that like nerdy and super fanny to that annoying level? But I do love that menu, mainly because it's not really loving the menu. It's just I love the soundtrack by Gustavo Santaolalla. I've butchered his name. I think I've butchered his name on stream previously. I do apologize. Phenomenal music in this game, and just the slow fade up from black with the windowsill and the music. It's really well done. But enough about the main menu. Let's jump into this first cutscene here. I'm not going to skip any of the cutscenes, and I'm not going to skip all the collectibles. I'm going to do a little bit, like, I'm not speed running, so I'm not going to run through the whole level, but I'm also not going to get everything, because like I said, this isn't a first time playthrough, so there's no point.
I can't lose this job. I understand.
Troy Baker, obviously, as Joel. An excellent performance. Hannah Hayes as Sarah. She does great too, in her limited role.
What are you still doing up? It's late.
Crud, what time is it?
It's way past your bedtime.
But it's still today.
It's kind of interesting when you look at the arc of like Naughty Dog games, from like cartoon characters to Indiana Jones to this. I remember what first wowed me about this when I played it on the PS3 when it came out was it's just a very dry scene between a man and his daughter, but the mannerisms and the way the characters are animated, the kind of gruff, I'm not an actor projecting, I'm just a man speaking performance by Troy Baker. Little things like that, like straight away, I mean, it sounds like I'm a mega fan saying this as someone who's played it a million times, but I felt that was evident from the first time I played it. It was just the minutiae of the performances are just really, really cool.
Where did you get the money for this?
Drugs. I sell hardcore drugs.
Oh, good. You started helping out with the mortgage then.
Yeah, you wish.
So yeah, they do a good job. This is a short scene, but they do a good job of, hey, Joel's an average guy. He loves his daughter. She's, you know, cheeky and humorous in a way that we'll see kind of reflected in Ellie later. And one of the things I like about this intro is I don't think a single person booted up this game with any prior knowledge of what it was. If you knew anything about this, you knew that this was not the main character, this was not Ellie. You had to boot this up and know that obviously she was dying. Obviously it's kind of a rote thing to do, you know. It's not like it's this hugely original thing. Oh no, his daughter dies. But excuse me. It's more about the execution and the fact that they create these two characters that in such a short scene are pretty reasonably fleshed out, and they give you reason to care.
Hello?
Sarah, honey, I need to get your daddy on the phone.
Uncle Tommy, what time is it?
I need to talk to your dad now. There's something.
Uncle Tommy? Hello?
So yeah, here we go. So again, I'm not going to do a whole get all the collectibles run because it'll make this extra long and extra difficult. But like, you can first of all, there is the photo that Ellie will give to Joel in the final chapter, the soccer trophy picture. There's a card here. I will look at it because a lot of people do actually miss this.
Dang it. I forgot to give this to him.
All of the collectibles, all the notes that you can find, like all the little journal entries, which is a video game trope I'm really sick of and I really hate, but the handwriting and everything, like, these are all really well done. That looks like a birthday card you could buy. It's written in a way that's convincing. They've convincingly recreated handwriting. There's a subtitle feature where you can just overlay regular video game text just so you can read it, because sometimes it's actually illegible because they've done a convincing job of having an actual person's handwriting. So there's a newspaper in there. There's only 2 newspaper clippings in the whole game, I think. One of them's in there, just says spike in the hospitals, and there's one later that documents just there's one in the college. I can't remember what it says. But yeah, there's actually very little by way of newspaper clippings in the game. So yeah, that's gonna blow up. And there you go. Yeah. This scene is, the first time you play it, it is dripping with atmosphere. It is overwhelmingly tense. This is a painstakingly realistic house. It's deathly silent, other than some creaks and some dogs in the distance. You don't know what's happened to Joel at this stage. It's like, this is a creepy recreation of an empty house. And also, if you're aware of the marketing, you know that this is a zombie game and that she's all alone at this stage. Yeah. So again, I mean, there's more we can explore here, but we're not going to do that. So there's a dog getting hurt, which is a trademark zombie trope, which is, the animals have to get fucked up. So the panic and the kind of the hesitant murder we're about to see, like, again, it's all really done. It's kind of just in the minutia of the performances and how it's directed that's cool. It's not like this is some kind of crazy innovative scene we've never seen before. It's not. Troy Baker, for a guy who's in everything, it would be easy to dislike Troy Baker. He's so ubiquitous, but the man he's so good at his job. I mean, I think he doesn't get enough credit. He gets a lot of credit, but he doesn't get enough. Again, just really just well delivered lines. Everything's kind of little bit grounded in reality. Also, pretty crazy that this is Joel before he becomes a badass survivor, scavenger, murderer man, and he shot that guy in 2 seconds. Like, it was hesitant, but it was like that is there's kind of a level of foreshadowing to that. This sequence was obviously big time praise when it came out. Very few games do the day zero thing where it's like the shit was normal up until they went to bed and they woke up and the world was ending. So very, very cool that they did that. Actually, a buddy of mine who I think... Did he watch a Let's Play of this? I can't remember if he watched a Let's Play or he started it. But I don't think he's finished Last of Us to this day. And I remember him saying that he was super disappointed. He played or watched the intro and was then disappointed it jumped forward 20 years. He wanted to play from this point forward, which I thought was interesting. I thought was a pretty interesting take, because this is cool, the fact that they do this. Somebody there got fucked up. Obviously, this game runs at 60 frames a second. The PS3 version most certainly did not. It ran at a pretty damn solid 30, considering how good it looked, but it was spotty in places. This game runs flawlessly, and it hugely benefits from it. Also, it was a game that looked pretty damn good for a PS3. It's not quite mind-blowing on a PS4, but it looks good in 1080 and 60. It really does.
They said it's just people in the city. We're good.
Didn't Jimmy work in the city?
That's right, he did. We're fine. Trust me.
Alright.
So yeah, and this of course is a crucial scene. It's a little thing, but it's important.
I got a kid, Joel. So do we.
But we have room.
Keep driving, Tommy.
We're like 10 minutes in. We've already established what kind of person Joel is. You know, when he's forced to do something to protect the important people, he murders them without a second thought. And he's like, don't stop to help people. And this is the day things break down. I mean, that's such a cool little little nod.
We could just backtrack and... Tommy! Holy shit!
So yeah. Hey, buddy. Yeah. So
Did you see that? Yes. Sorry. God damn. Turn here. Turn here.
the first time you go through this scene, it is real heart-pounding stuff. It really is.
I'm trying. We can't stop here, Tommy. I can't fucking drive through them, Joel! Back up there! They're behind me, too! There! Hold on! Go!
So yeah. So there's a bit coming up here that every time I watch someone else play this game, I look for this bit because it threw me when I first played it. So there's Joel and Sarah. I forgot what Tommy was wearing the first time I played this because it was my first time. I thought that was Tommy mauling the guy in the car. I thought Tommy turned in this opening sequence. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that's what I thought. So even though I was, before we actually started the game, I was hyping up the difficulty and what have you, there's very little by way of actual difficulty in this intro, and also the tutorial is pretty basic, so yeah, so I thought this was Tommy Zombie, but then Tommy saves the day. So yeah, there's probably not going to be much risk of dying or anything yet, knock on wood, but once you get out of the tutorial zone, all bets are off. The actor who plays Tommy, his name escapes me, but also a very good performance. It is possible to die in this sequence if you don't run fast enough or you spend too much lollygagging. You will get eaten. And it's you know. Do you know photo mode? Let me turn it on just for fun. Because photo mode is a blast. Look at that. Look at that. This is the first game I ever saw do photo mode. I don't think it was the first to do it, but it was the first game I heard about. Photo mode in this game is fantastic. The art design in this game is fantastic. The fighting is visceral. It's gory, so if you want some action shots. But it's mainly the art design, the level design and stuff is phenomenal in this game. So I've done some photo mode stuff myself. You can see it on Twitter if you just search PS4 share and my username. Also, there's entire NeoGAF threads dedicated to the photo mode of this game. It's superb. I really do. If you like photo mode in game, I know some people don't really see the point in it. If you like it, definitely search out the NeoGAF one at the very least. It is fantastic. So I think I'll actually to make sure I don't accidentally hit that, I think I'll actually turn it off because I have no use for it on this playthrough. So.
Those people are on fire.
Keep looking at me, baby.
Gross. Yeah, somewhere in these Turtle Beaches, I had a different pair of Turtle Beaches on my PS3. This is a fantastic game for headsets. The sound design is incredible. The original score, the voice acting, the weapon sound effects, the zombie sound effects, everything about this. It's an audio-visual delight. It really is. So we're going through here. Come on, Tommy. We have to let him go. Go, fool! Yeah. So this guy scares the shit out of most people the first time they see him. So yeah.
He's dead. God damn it. We're almost there. We're almost there, baby.
So physics.
Get through the fence. Keep going. Find your way out of here. Come on. Go. Move it.
So here we see Tommy as a hero, obviously.
Get to the highway. Go. You got Sarah. I can outrun him.
Tommy?
I will meet you there. Hurry.
You the man, Tommy.
Daddy, we can't leave him.
Oh boy.
He's gonna be fine.
So the tension in this scene begins in the house. Like, the house is scary when you first boot up the game. This chase scene here with the dude, I can't turn around to look because I will die. The tension for this final few paces is so nerve shattering because the sound design, it's like in your ears that they're, you know, right behind you. It is intense. Obviously, you can go look on YouTube other people who are playing this for the first time. It is a nerve-shredding, emotional scene, and this scene obviously is incredible. And again, watch the performance, like the direction and the performance by Troy Baker is really superb, really superb. There's a director's commentary on the PS4 version, but it's pretty weak. It's because they only have a certain amount of time during these cutscenes to say stuff. But if you listen to interviews with Neil Druckmann elsewhere, he has a lot to say about this. So Druckmann and Straley, the two directors of this game, really, really interesting guys. I definitely recommend watching interviews with them. They have a lot to say. They're very interesting. And also Grounded, the documentary about this game. This scene with Troy Baker and Hannah Hayes, the death scene that we're about to see, obviously heartbreaking the first time you play it. If you watch that documentary, the scenes about this death scene are really fantastic. The way they talk about acting it out. And I'm not going to spoil it, but that documentary is for free on YouTube, so check it out. I feel like a monster just talking about behind the scenes shit when this scene is going down, but it's like I said at the intro, it's like, you know, I've seen it. I think the main thing they talked about with regards to this scene is how Baker kind of realized he wasn't supposed to do this over the top, no, you know, kind of ridiculous dramatic thing. It was kind of a hard to believe, grounded, very stunted reaction. You know, like I said, YouTube it yourself. The whole documentary is really, really good, but the stuff talking about this scene is pretty fantastic. What an intro! That's a really mind-blowing intro. Credit sequence is very cool. These credit sequences, obviously they have news broadcast audio throughout. Not super important. Some of it makes a bit more sense after you beat the game and you go back, but there are no Easter eggs or interesting tidbits in there. It's basically, it's just, the only thing I can kind of take from it is that it sounds like the Fireflies kind of did some kind of political uprising before shit went down. But it turns out they weren't very successful because they're a fringe group, you know, after the fact.
Their public charter calls for the return of all branches of government.
Demonstrations broke out following the execution of 6 more alleged Fireflies.
You can still rise with us. Remember, when you're lost in the darkness, look for the light. Believe in the Fireflies.
So yeah, the seasonal format is a interesting direction. I remember not really knowing what to make of it when it first goes summer, the first time I played it, but the transitions between seasons are excellent. And also the fact that, you know, the story takes place over the course of almost a year is pretty cool. There is Tess, a very cool character who... She's kind of a secondary character, even though she's very important. She doesn't make it out of the first 2 hours, I don't think. But she's very cool. And she is portrayed by the very talented and insanely beautiful Annie Wersching. Yeah. She is Renee Walker from 24. Bit of a heartthrob for me when I was a teenager. You know, she was in 24 when I was like 16, 17. I loved me some Renee Walker. Yeah. Yeah. So again, just like the death scene, if you watch the behind the scenes footage of Annie Wersching and Troy Baker, great chemistry, just really, really great performances, great direction. She really nails it. The cast is just super in this game. They take an excellent script and they don't betray it. In video games, I feel like that's a tough thing because it's like you can write an excellent script, but the acting isn't always there. a guy who's a video game script guy isn't necessarily a great director. Neil Druckmann is, evidently.
We're after him. He figures he's gonna get us first.
So yeah, the interesting thing about this scene is that it's not, you know, we see Joel drowning in liquor, still mourning his child, even though he still is. This is very much a scene about, jump forward 20 years, he's got his organization, he's got his partner in crime, he has his contacts, he's just living his post-apocalyptic life. It's not, wow, here's my photo of Sarah, I'm so sad, because that's not what the character is. The character is, I don't talk about that shit. I don't show photos. I don't have photos of her all over my room. In fact, photographs are like an important theme of the game, of him trying to get away from the past, which I'm sure we'll come to later in this playthrough, if I get to those parts of the game, because I suck at grounded mode. But yeah, fantastic chemistry between Wershing and Baker. You can talk to these people, I'm not going to. If there's a good optional conversation that I feel the need to listen to and talk about, I will do it. I'm not going to talk to those jabronis, they have nothing interesting to say. The one interesting thing about the optional conversations in this part of the game is that they all kind of paint Joel as a badass who is known around the quarantine zone, and pardon me, excuse me, I'm very windy today. Charming, I know. Pretty much all the conversations are like, whoa, that's Joel, don't fucking talk to Joel that way, don't make eye contact with Joel. It's like he has established himself as the guy to be fucked with in Boston, which is where this is. On replaying the game, and I think this is kind of evident to a lot of people the first time they play it, this first hour after the prologue, that prologue is killer. This first hour, slow, setting up Joel, setting up Tess, setting up the quarantine situation, not action-packed. Not action-packed. Also, I do like it a bit better on repeat playthroughs, because once you finish the game and you come back here, you're like, this is the only quarantine zone in the entire game. There is no... Every other quarantine zone you come across is abandoned. Every other station you come across is overrun with zombies or hunters. So this is obviously a cool bit of incidental storytelling. You can just walk past this, you don't have to watch it, but I'll watch this one. I feel like this one is reasonably kind of important. So the Fireflies are obviously talked about an awful lot. These guys don't get very much attention. They're pretty much in this early hour, and that's it. So this is the government. This is the remnants of the government. Fedra, they're called in this game, but you know, you can call them the CIA or whatever you want to fucking call them. It's yeah. So I'm not gonna watch every little cutscene like that, but or not even cutscene, but you know. But yeah, so I mean, you look at how official this is. There's going to be a little scene here where they check Joel's passport. Like, it's organized. It's a proper quarantine zone. These two, I think I could talk to these two and they freak out at the idea of Joel talking to them.
Jesus. What'd they do?
What do you think? They beat the shit out of him and dragged him off. Haven't heard from him since.
Fucking idiot. He should have known better.
He's got a family. What's the guy gonna do?
Yeah? How's that working out from now?
Yeah, asshole, what are you looking at?
Ronnie, shut the fuck up. Hey, Joel, we're not looking for trouble, okay?
No harm, no foul.
That's right. Fear me. I'm Joel. Fear me. Yeah. So obviously here are your Fireflies.
I gotta sell new papers. They shouldn't give us any static.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Play cool.
The subtitles in this scene freak out because those two are still talking once I leave. These people here are talking. Tess is talking to me. It's all incidental dialogue, but you know, it's alright. But as I was saying, it's pretty cool when you come back and you replay this game and you're like, this could potentially be the last fucking quarantine zone in the entire country. Everywhere else you go is hunters, zombies, fucking freaks of all varieties. There are very few actual settlements left, so that's one thing I think is kind of interesting. Other than that, this early hour is pretty damn slow. It's tutorializing, it's trickling out info about Joel and Tess. It's fine, it's not bad, but pretty much once you get to Billstown and onward, it is a roller coaster. And this section just isn't. Sorry, I just had to get rid of that tutorial prompt. I don't know why it was still there. But yeah, this game kind of gives you
Patch yourself up, alright?
I can understand how someone would play this first hour and kind of get the wrong impression and think it was like all the bad traits of a Naughty Dog game, because there is a lot of walking down corridors, shooting 2 or 3 guys, and then there's a conversation. The rest of the game is a lot more open-ended and dynamic than that. Yeah, this early scene is tight, and it's pretty focused, whereas the rest of it's kind of open-ended. So.
Or we could just let Robert go.
Cute. Hey, Tess, you see that shit?
I was
So yeah, Robert is a shady contact we do business with who tried to kill Tess for reasons we don't know. I guess he just wanted her out of the business.
You too?
Who else is looking for him?
Marlene. She's been asking around, trying to find him.
Marlene? What are the Fireflies named with Robert?
You think she'd tell me?
Well, what did you tell her?
The truth. I got no idea where he's hiding.
Good man.
I mean, this looks really good. Some of the textures you get up close, they don't look as good as some exclusive PS4 games, but this is a good looking game. Still a good looking game.
Marlene looking for Robert? What do you make of that?
I don't like it. We better find him before the Fireflies.
So theoretically, this is a lot of gaps are left to be filled in by you. But you would imagine Marlene initially wants him to take Ellie, because evidently her and Robert were doing some kind of business, because he gave Marlene the guns that he owed to us.
Shit's stirring up out there. How we looking over here?
It's been quiet. No signs of military effect.
That's what I like to hear. Joel, give me a hand with this.
But obviously we fuck up Robert before she gets a chance to solicit him to take care of Ellie, so... that bottle very deliberately planted there so you can see the physics freak out every time you play the game, and it freaks out differently each time.
Oh, God, this place reeks. I need to watch what they throw away down here. There'd be light. Let's grab our gear.
One thing that's gonna make this fucking playthrough tough is that by default the triggers and the bumpers, their buttons are reversed from the PS3 version. The PS3 had shitty triggers on the controller; they were terrible. So L1 and R1 were aim and shoot respectively on the PS3.
Still here from last time.
More traditional setup on the PS4: aim, shoot, aim, shoot. That's gonna take some getting used to. I played this game like 6 times through the other way, so please do bear with me if I embarrass myself. Ammo in grounded mode, obviously almost non-existent. And also one thing I forgot to mention, excuse me, I apologize, I'm drinking Coke on stream. It's my own fault. It's my own fault for being so gassy. So yeah, let's reload. As well as limited supplies, your health and your ammo are not displayed on screen at any time when you're walking around. If I get my backpack out, use the directional buttons to check your inventory. Obviously here I can see my ammo, but once that goes away, there is no ammo counter no matter what I do. The health, generally, here's how you know what your health is. You're either dead or alive. It's basically one hit kill no matter who you're facing, in grounded mode at least. But yeah, you can take some hits from the very weakest characters, but you have no health gauge on your screen. You have no ammo counter. It is up to you to just know. And that makes a difference.
Come on.
That is why there is a tiny sect of people, they do exist, there is a tiny sect of people who thinks grounded is the way to play this game. It was the exact same, before Grounded came out, they thought that of Survivor difficulty. And I actually agreed. I think Survivor is an excellent way to play this. This is a game that, it is harder than your average AAA game. Normal difficulty, I would say, is harder than your average normal difficulty campaign. It's resource intensive. It's got shades of Resident Evil 4 in there. It is not an easy game, certainly. So one thing I am going to do here, obviously I'm not searching for like collectibles in the story sense, but in grounded mode you have to be mega thorough when searching for resources. They do not grow on trees. They don't grow on trees in the game anyway, but it's 10 times worse here.
Been out here in a while.
It's like we're on a date.
Well, I am the romantic type.
Got your ways.
So yeah, they never come out and explicitly say it, but you know what the relationship between those two is rather, excuse me. But I kind of get the vibe that it's not a strict boyfriend-girlfriend thing. It's more of a very cynical, post-apocalyptic, we do business together and also we fuck. That is what I've taken from it. I do not think they are like zombie
It's gotta be around here somewhere.
zombie apocalypse married. I don't think they are. I think it's just they,
Got it.
you know.
Great, bring it over.
A lot of potential here for not necessarily a sequel, but they did do a comic book. I thought there was potential for more comic books and maybe straight DVD movies or animation projects. You know, how did Joel and Tess come to be, etc., etc. There's a lot of, like I said earlier, a lot left up to player interpretation.
This way.
And, you know, one of those things was the story of Ellie and Riley, which was expanded upon in the Left Behind DLC. Which was an excellent bit of DLC. I don't think I'll play that on stream. I might just do it for fun, just on a normal difficulty, because I really loved it. But, yeah. So yeah, I'm going to have to search every nook and cranny of these levels, because there are no resources to be had, like bare... We got some gears. The gears, I think, are still in a plentiful supply, because they make a difference, but they're not, you know, you're not going to win the game just by upgrading your weapons enough. Ammo and craftable things are what make the difference. So there's a Firefly pendant. I'll pick those up if I come across them. I'm not going to collect them all because they're hidden in some kind of obtuse ways, and I'm not going to go seeking them out unless they're also near some ammo. So I think I got everything in here. Nope, I misspoke. Oh no, that's just a fan. Yeah, we got some... Shut the fuck up, asshole. We got some graffiti. Lots of graffiti in this game. It's a post-apocalyptic game, you know. Nothing there.
For his sake, he better.
If we get our merchandise back, it should be easy to unload.
Speaking of merchandise, when's that next shipment?
Ooh. So yeah.
Shows up or something.
At this stage, we don't know who Bill is, but you know, we know he's someone you do business with.
Hold up. Spores.
So yeah, the infected stuff in this game I think is really well done. The what's the phrase? I guess the tiers of the infected. The kind of the faux biology. Obviously, I'm not going to say it's like the actual biology tied to it. Obviously, it's well known at this stage. The infection from this game is based on a real life infection the directors saw in a BBC documentary. So it has some basis in actual science, but obviously it's science fantasy. But yeah, the tiers of zombies I think are really, or not zombies, whatever the fuck you want to call them. They are really well done. I mean, oftentimes in zombie games like Left 4 Dead, you have a character that's a tank, even though I hate to get finicky about logic in a fucking stupid video game about zombies, but you know, logistically, why does a tank exist if it's just an undead person? In this, like they kind of explain the different progressions of the infected. Again, it's a dumb little thing. It won't really make that much of a difference in terms of how you play the game. I just think it's neat, and it's an attention to detail they didn't have to bother with that they did, probably for their own like perfectionist ways. I think Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley both come off to me as guys obsessed with making sure every facet of this game clicked, and it did.
Don't leave me to turn. Please.
What do you want to do?
So yeah, here they combine a tutorial with a moral choice. There are no choices in the game. It's 100% linear. You can't really decide anyone's fate, except for this guy's, basically. Usually I shoot him, not in grounded mode. Is this a ridiculously picky thing? Yes, but each individual bullet does matter. So obviously he then starts calling out to you like, don't leave. That sucks. This game is constantly making you feel like a piece of shit, constantly tugging at your heartstrings. It is non-stop. So here is where, in under a normal difficulty stance, except for Survivor and Grounded, this is where you would get your listening mode tutorial, which is basically this game's answer to Batman Detective Vision. So here's something I've noticed while playing on this and Survivor modes. Even Survivor mode, it is nearly impossible to sneak up on people. I've read that it is doable. You just have to constantly be pressing triangle to grab them. They hear you when you are like basically their hearing radius is a lot better, and it makes it near. So basically, it's within a second of you getting the prompt, you have to hit it because they will hear you otherwise. So I'll try it here, and you'll see what I mean. I'm gonna move as slow as possible. They don't react to the spotlight, by the way, so don't worry about that. So I'm just gonna keep pressing triangle. Okay, yeah. Okay, so there you go. First time on stream, obviously I get it. But typically that is a nightmare to pull off because they hear you basically from when you're within button prompt range. Yeah, so if I had my Batman Detective Vision of this difficulty, which I don't, you would see, you can kind of see those guys through the wall eating this other guy. If you've never played The Last of Us before, even if you play on easy or normal difficulty, I'd almost recommend turning off listening mode anyway. I feel like it's kind of a lame crutch. It doesn't add anything to the game, and as tough as the game is, it's not like it makes the game insanely easier. It's just kind of a... So I think I'm just gonna... you can't sneak up on either of them, so I'm just gonna... Shit. Tess, some help would be nice. So when you're playing on grounded mode, when you're against two scrubs like that, you really can't waste ammo. You really can't.
Head back into the city.
I have to try and find some health now because I'm basically nearly dead. I think there's something here. Okay, so that did almost nothing because Joel is still holding his shit. Basically, we explore around here. But again, I mean, those are two really weak enemies. She got a couple of like her lesser attacks. She got a couple of those on me, so it's like I didn't die there. But against a regular human, one punch, like a standard melee attack, can kill you in this. There's a bit of UFC. EA UFC about it, in the sense that they've kind of programmed it in such a way that sometimes one punch will kill you, other times it won't. This game, this difficulty mode, it kind of encourages the perfect run. You need to kick this game's ass. There's no in between. You either blaze it and you do awesome, or you completely miss out. So here's the first instance of something really cool in the game. So here's another collectible. Again, look at that. Look at how that is a dirty piece of paper, very realistically made, with actual writing on it that's difficult to read. And you press square, and there's some actual subtitles. So
they got infected trying to sneak into the zone.
As much as everyone complains about it, you got all these poor bastards wishing they were living on the inside.
So yeah, that is so cool the first time you hear it. They react to everything you pick. Almost every journal entry, every collectible that has some semblance of text or story attached to it, they have a specific piece of dialogue for it. It's very well done. And that some of the coolest moments, some of the coolest dialogue exchanges are triggered by that. I'll be sure to get the important ones. Like I said earlier, I'm not going to get every single collectible here because we'll be here all day. But we're gonna mosey here.
That's the one thing I love about the outside.
Why don't you ask Bill to get you some of them air fresheners?
Hey, if they weren't expired, that'd be a good idea.
So we got some scene-setting music here. If you like the music in this game and you didn't buy the soundtrack, I got the first volume of the soundtrack free with the game. Then they put out a second volume to tie in with the DLC. They're both excellent. If you don't want to pay for them, they are on Spotify, so you can listen to them on there. Excellent stuff. you know, I think they work outside of playing the game, but that's me. I'm a super fan, so I would say that. You can check them out for yourself. So I know the puzzle to solve this, so I think I'm just gonna go do it. Is there anything down here? Again, I am just snooping for every single conceivable collectible in grounded mode is so important. Yeah, the plank, I know it. So the plank is down here. I'm gonna get it, but before I get it, that hurt me, which is, oh god, Joel's hurt. Okay, let me just see if there's anything down here. I don't believe so. The resources and the ammo and stuff, it's not the same every single time. It's as a rule, it's like this. They say the locations it can theoretically spawn is the same, but it does change, so it's not in the same exact spot every time. I don't think there's ever anything down here, but it's been a while since I played this, so.
It's a bit heavy.
I think I can handle it.
All right.
So I mentioned earlier the checkpoints and how there's less of them. Like, that's frustrating, but certain ones, there are checkpoints to at least bookmark the end of each fight, but there are no mid-fight checkpoints, so it's pretty much get the whole way through a sequence or start it the whole way over again. It's all or nothing, which is a pain. Like I said, it adds to the challenge, and I get it, but it's very frustrating, especially when you're late in the game and you just kind of want to get it done. So yeah, not only do I not know how I'm going to get through Tommy's jam, I don't know how I'm going to get through the subsequent sections, because this game is not okay. So there's a kind of PS3 looking thing. Yeah, it doesn't look great. This game is not only tough generally, but in the final stretch, this is a hard game. If I want to make it through the hospital at the very end of the game, I'm going to have to ghost it. I'm going to have to get through undetected. And in my several playthroughs of this game, I've never done that. I've never made it through the hospital with undetected. If you don't recall, or you haven't played this before, everyone in the hospital has automatic rifles, and there's insane amounts of them. I believe there can be, it doesn't appear there is this time, but there can be stuff in here. Yeah, it appears there is not. Okay. There are not a lot of kids in this game, but there's one. The kids that are in this game are kind of story centric, so. So again, this game isn't about this little hobo society on the outskirts of the Boston quarantine zone, but one of the nice touches of these very slow early chapters is you get a little insight into, this kid guarding the door. We're going to see some market stalls, some kind of queues for food and stuff. You get a very tiny slice of life in this part of the game. It is cool, but it is slow relative to the rest of the game. Joel's fucked up here. Joel is hurting. Oh, buddy, got a busted rib.
Now, you hear me?
Okay. Can do that. Love you, brother.
Yeah, so that's Terrence. Again, just like Joel earlier, the earlier conversation about Joel, they do a good job of giving you the vibe that Tess is well known and she is not to be messed with. So like, if you explore around here, this lady sasses you.
If you ain't got ration cards, don't even waste my time. I'm not interested in bartering for bullets.
Yeah, so like we saw earlier, the Fedra, the government people, they are still technically in control in Boston, so ration cards are currency. And we got some people cooking rats.
Keep your shirt on. This batch coming right up.
Hey, don't even think about cutting in line.
Fucking A. Wait on this rat forever.
So yeah, a lot of other games, like Fallout 4, which is really cool. I really love it. All about kind of, you go into a town, quote unquote, and there's a guy cooking whatever shitty food he can find, and there's bartering, and there's doctors, and there's blah blah. Last of Us is like, here is a little snippet of that, and then fucking nothing. It's desolate wasteland. It's hunters scavenging. The rest of this game, the entire game, is pretty much inspired by The Road, the book and the movie.
Sorry, man. These dogs are all accounted for. Sold out in less than an hour. Try me next week.
But the rest of this game after this sequence is very much like the road. No bartering, no towns, just you, your little underage compatriot, and shut up, dude. And the open road, and you're afraid of everyone. There's no bartering. Yeah, it's. So yeah, if you watch these two long enough, one of them wins, and then the characters just stop going through their animation loops and they just stand there. It's kind of lame. But we're not going to watch because we're in a hurry here. So yeah, Tess, you know, she has a reputation, so as a badass, I guess.
Who's that?
An old headache. Don't ask.
What do you have? Oh, this is gambling, I guess. Yeah. There's some cool collectibles around here if I can find them. Yeah, this one's hidden. Look at that. So yeah. So yeah, obviously fuck this. But again, like that's a really well made kind of drafting notice. He has nothing to say about that. I believe there's a little girl over here playing with her teddy. Look how depressing this shit is. She reacts to you like she's scared. You go away, I believe she... Yeah, she goes back to play with her things. So we'll leave her alone. That's depressing. And who's this? Oh... It's a PS3 texture, first of all. But more importantly, it is Marlene. Who we don't know yet when we play this for the first time.
Guy's been hoarding all sorts of shit in the factory.
Whoa, hold on.
I think that's talking about Robert. It's not really clear. Is Robert in a factory? I don't think he is.
I'm looking for Robert. You come through here?
Half hour ago. He went back to the wharf. He's there now.
So yeah, at the start of the game, Tess, when she gets jumped by Robert's guys, she successfully gets away with her ration cards, which are... She's making it rain in this bitch. For the first hour or so of this game. Look for the light, obviously your Firefly thing. All the graffiti in this game is pretty cool. Here comes our first fight sequence, which... It is a tutorial area, and what have you... Grounded mode, it kicks in straight away. I could die in this tutorial sequence. In fact, I probably will, because one of the issues with not issues, but one of the things about grounded mode is there is luck involved. Enemy AI can spot you from a mile away. Its accuracy is really good. So if I poke my head out at the wrong time, I could be toast. So I'll say that now. Put my hands up.
Leave now. I'm not going anywhere without Robert.
Bitch, I will bash your skull unless you turn around and get your dumb ass out of here.
Fuck this.
Yeah, Tess. Tess is so cool.
You ready?
Yeah.
Fucking love Tess.
Cover you. Get the angle on them.
So it is possible to get the drop on them. If Tess would cover me, that would be nice. But sequences in this game, I'll talk about this more later, but sequences where the AI is supposed to cover you by firing, like the sniper sequence in the suburbs, Joel tells Henry and Ellie to cover me, and they do not pop their fucking heads out in this, the PS3 version, after all the patches. I don't know if they just didn't bother to script that, but Tess should really be covering me here. I can't flank these guys. I'm probably going to get shot right here. Oh, this guy's moving. This guy's moving. Oh! I knew that was going to happen. I was waiting because I was like punching that guy and his buddy was at point blank range, so obviously that was going to be a problem. But yeah. There you go again. Alright, so this is what we're dealing with. This is what, if you have not seen grounded mode before, this is what we're dealing with. He pops out, he looks at me, I'm dead. So... Oh! So that was a timely press of the circle button that saved me there. I was trying to see if I could maybe... That sound effect when you get spotted is really cool. Down! Holy shit. Not a bullet wasted.
You too.
Yeah, so Tess,
How did he get all these guys?
If Robert's good at one thing, it's writing blank checks. Let's go put an end.
you know, this is a game that a lot of essays and a lot of videos have been made, a lot of breakdowns of the characters and the relationships. Obviously, there's a lot to be said. It's a really dense story with a lot of room for interpretation and exploration. Tess is like in the community and also amongst critics, kind of one of those characters people really love to talk about and wonder. She's she's like ice cold. She's just completely unfazed by seemingly everything. You have to kind of wonder how she got that way. Her relationship with Joel is kind of disseminated in some interesting ways. It's kind of argued by some that she is almost like the ringleader of the operation that they're involved in, whatever it is. Yeah, she's pretty cool. And obviously, what are the criticisms I heard by people who maybe weren't a big fan of this game, and usually people who kind of played it once around release time and finished it around release time and, you know, didn't replay it obviously because it was brand new, was why does Joel go the whole way around the country with Ellie, especially when in the early stages of the game he explicitly doesn't like her, you know. And it's the most important scene in the game, and I'll talk about it when we get there. The most important scene in the game, I think, is the one where Tess dies and she's infected and that's why she dies, and she says, "Do this for me." In a condensed way, that is what that scene is about. She says two things: let me die on my own terms, I don't want to be infected, and two, fucking do whatever it takes to get Ellie to the cure, to become the cure rather. And so that's why it's kind of like I saw one criticism I saw the whole time was why did Joel go all the way around the country with Ellie just for a collection of guns, which is not why he did that. It was entirely for Tess. So she is a fascinating character. Also, she did a little shrug there when those two guys were talking. They basically say that they found two of their guys were murdered basically by Tess, and she just does a cute little shrug like, "Yeah, I did that. What of it?" So I'm pressing triangle here with all my might. Okay, so it's a good thing I read that tip before I did this stream, because whenever I play on the higher difficulties previously, those dudes react to me pretty much once I'm within a couple of steps of, and the infected do as well, which when we're talking about clickers is a nightmare. Tess, do your thing for Christ's sake. I don't know why that didn't trigger, but typically if you time it right, once you grab one guy, she will grab the other, but the game's scripting was a bit off there. As it is, this game, you know, if there is criticisms of this game, and there is, I think it's a masterpiece, but it's not. It has criticisms. If there is one, it's that the enemy AI is good. The partner AI is dodgy at times, especially during the summer scenes with Henry and Sam, because you have the two of them and you have Ellie with you, so you have 3 AI partners, and it gets hectic and it gets broken. So yeah, I hate this scene. This scene is kind of tough to navigate on a harder difficulty. Yeah, so this is it's a difficult scene to navigate because we got a couple of guns here. We got enemies who can spot you very far away. Shit. Why does that guy look like AJ Styles? That one right there. Please don't see me. So obviously I'm getting no button prompts. Unlike, I think every other difficulty they give you triangle button prompts when you have to counter. Shit. Survival tactics. Run away, hide, stealth. That's weird. Was that always in this game? I don't remember if that was in PS3 version, but... Alright, AJ, I see you. So yeah, no button prompts. You have to basically know by the animation that the guy is going to try and hit you, and you have to dodge yourself. Again, this is why I think this mode specifically, because it was DLC, so I think this was included just for people who like platinum the game or beat it several times or beat it on Survivor mainly, and we're looking for kind of the next level of challenge, and that it is.
Take it easy, man, right? Everything's cool.
So yeah, the chokeout animation is deliberately very long. When you have a shiv, you can use it on... people mainly use the shivs on clickers. The shiv can also be used to quickly take down a living opponent, or a non-infected opponent, I guess. The infected aren't dead. Let's explore around here. Do we got anything in here, or anybody in here who shouldn't be? But yeah, I think it's foolish to use the shivs on non-infected enemies when they have a very specific use for infected enemies. And on the higher difficulties, I'll give you this tip if you want to play on survival difficulty. Say you've played Last of Us before and you haven't done survival yet. Don't use shivs on clickers. Just avoid clickers or melee them to death if at all possible. Use shivs on shiv doors only. On the higher difficulties, you do get less out of the shiv doors, but I would argue that the shiv doors are always worth it. Some of them have less than others, but they are generally fairly reliable in terms of they will have something half decent. One thing I think doesn't change regardless of difficulty is you have the guys can squirm free, or they'll fight you if you hold them for too long and you don't do anything. Generally, that time remains the same. I think they don't get free earlier on the higher difficulties, which is good. That's one of those things that it's just kind of a quality of life thing. It would just be kind of annoying if they got free quicker. Oh, I'm dead. Your aim sucks, dude. There, you got me. Alright, well, his aim still sucks. So I think, as we will see here, I'm going all the way back to the start, yeah. So this is what, so I'm fairly sure on a lower difficulty I would be inside the warehouse I just went into there, where I died. Yeah, so no such joy here. You go all the way back to the start. That is not the worst example of that. There's much worse examples, such as the Tommy Dam sequence later. I mean, I just don't think that's one of those things that, to use the term I said there just a second ago, that's what I consider a quality of life thing, not a difficulty thing. Like, it doesn't make the level harder, it makes it frustrating and less fun, I think, to play. When you're playing a game that has one-shot kills, it's like it's kind of a pain. So do we have another guy? I don't think we do. Okay, so we're gonna go up, and this guy, I don't believe he turns around at all. There are certain objects in the world that have physics, ragdoll physics. Those paint cans are one of them. There's a kitchen later level where you can kick some pans if you're not paying attention to what you're doing, and they alert the enemies. So yeah, just worth keeping that in mind. So our two boyos here are gonna have a little conversation. So this time I'm going to try and wait for the white guy to move away. I think he's going to come further back in here, and I should be able to grab him at that point. Again, you know, so obviously, if you can't tell, I mean, when you're playing this on normal difficulty, and it's funny, because when I played this on normal difficulty, I did think to myself, oh wow, ammo is so scarce, and this game is so challenging, and blah blah blah. But in hindsight, like, I've actually, since beating it on higher difficulties, I've gone back and played this game on the lower difficulties again. And man, in hindsight, you can just, with some well-placed shots, you can just go Rambo in this game. On the higher difficulties, like, sections like this, where it's just, you're fairly early, you need to basically do this. As I said, you need to do this basically perfectly, and without a single shot. So that didn't go as well as I would have hoped, but the guy I was unfamiliar with that guy's walking pattern, and he subsequently took me out. So this guy was alerted to my presence, but I mean the enemy AI in this game is really cool. So in the sense that I'll probably be able to duck back here and he won't see me. So he's going to go to the last place he saw me, and I will. Yeah, I'll hopefully be able to sneak around here. Yeah. So okay, so he doesn't know I'm doing a circle here, and hopefully I get back to him before he turns around. One thing I will say, more so about the infected, is that one of the most painful things in this game is when you alert the infected. The infected walk in patterns when they're on alert. Once they are alert, even if you hide, they then start walking in completely sporadic patterns. They don't revert to their old patterns. Like this guy here is now wandering into a completely different direction. It's the humans and the infected, but it's mainly noticeable with the infected. So you can't just wait for them to get off alert and go back to their regular patterns, because they won't. They will then walk in a completely unpredictable pattern. So if you lose control of a situation, you can end up getting fucked, basically. So yeah, so that guy was starting, I needed to take him out. You could walk past a certain amount of guys, but there's a decent amount of segments in this game where it's like, no, you have to take people out before you clear them. So there's a chain door here that I have to open. I'm pretty sure that makes noise, and if you haven't killed everyone, it alerts them, and when the difficulty is as high as it is, you can't really afford to do that. So let me just scope around here. Alrighty. Oh, whoops. So here's our buddy.
There's our boy.
What a piece of shit.
That cocky son of a bitch.
Let's go wrap this up.
I think it was the two best friends playthrough of this, where they compared him to Dog Eyes, because he's just a shit tier fucking asshole who you'd love to smack the shit out of. Let's pause that here. So yeah, one episode in, 3 deaths near the end there, 4 deaths, 5 deaths. We had a serious amount of deaths there, but we're making steady progress. This is the Last of Us grounded mode. I hope I haven't talked too much. My mouth is getting a bit dry. If you can't tell on this episode alone, I fucking love The Last of Us, and I can't wait to get into the other scenes. Can't wait to meet Ellie and talk about why that's all great, and it's gonna be fun. And also, as you've seen in this episode, 2 things. 1, I love Last of Us, and I'm having a lot of fun talking about it. 2, this mode is hard. I am going to die a lot. This is still what I would consider the tutorial part of the game. I would consider everything up until Bill's Town the tutorial, because there's a lot of hand-holding and a lot of sections that are easy on the lower difficulty. So, with all that said, I'm going to hang it up here for today. There will be another stream. I don't know. This channel, laissez-faire. I am gonna keep doing it, but I've also got Borderlands to finish, and I want to start Galaxy, and I've got Nuclear Throne. So basically, just subscribe to this channel for more info. You'll get a little, I'll pop up here doing more Last of Us eventually. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, I suppose. Share, give this video a plug here or there. And yeah, I will be back with more of this later in the week, or next week. Just subscribe to find out more. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching.